What's going on, everyone? Ben here. Andrea is actually behind the camera.
Howdy.
And we are fixing to clean up this mess. We kind of let the greenhouse go. If y'all are not familiar, this greenhouse is run by one big aquaponics system, and it is getting out of control. So we're fixing to get busy, start cleaning it out, and get to replanting.
All right, so let's just take a good long before look. You can see we have lettuce that has gone to seed. Lots more lettuce that's gone to seed. We've got kale in the back corner. We've got amaranth that's growing up over there. The chocolate mint I've harvested once already this year. It's taken over. The papaya tree's still doing fine. It's doing great up there, looking good and healthy. It got puny at one time.
Got some papayas up there.
Got some little babies on it. But it's doing pretty good. It needs a little cleaning. Then we've got our massive tomato plant that needs to be trimmed up some.
I'm going to pull it out.
You're going to pull it completely out, okay. We've got the lemon tree here is doing really well. We've only ever gotten one lemon off this tree. It's a Meyer lemon tree that we just bought at Walmart, stuck in here, and it's finally looking like it's going to make it. Really love this Malabar spinach, but again, it needs a little cleaning up, trellising. We've got these paracords everywhere for it to climb. We just need to encourage that. Sprouting projects that didn't go anywhere. We've got a new little tomato over here, so we may go ahead, like Ben said, and just rip that other one out. A few little pepper plants.
Few tomato plants. What these were broken plants when we started planting in the ground. They broke off. Were they
suckers? Were they suckers?
No, these broke off at the base when we was planting them.
Yeah.
I just stick them in here. They end up going, and we ain't done nothing with them.
So that gives you a reference point to what we're going to do today. So we're going to get busy cleaning this up, replanting. It's really hot in here right now. You can see behind me we have what's called a swamp cooler that Ben built.
This swamp cooler I built out of just some materials that I bought and done it all myself. It works. I can't figure out if I'm losing water out of it or just evaporation. So I need to put some more water in there for today. This past winter we ended up putting up this foam insulation to help hold the heat in here better. What I didn't do after I got through with that, I've got a 250 gallon IBC tote outside that I had piped into this, kept it full all the time. I think it's just evaporation and I just need to hook that back up. I'm actually fixing to put water in it to help kind of cool it down in here right now, and when we get through talking we're going to turn the fan back on because that exhaust fan pulls the air through it and cools everything off in here. The short part of this is my water tank right here. I've got a pump, it pumps it up. I've got a 1-inch PVC pipe in the top of that I drilled little bitty holes in. That water drains down through here. It's evaporative cooler cardboard, that's what it's made for. The water drains through that, the air pulls through the water spots and just brings cooler air in here, drains out into this. I've actually got a video on how I built it. It's really simple. We can link that in this video if you're interested.
And it really works.
And it really drops the temperature in here.
As soon as you turn it on when you're standing in it, in front of it, cool air will hit you. So let's talk about your greenhouse and how this all works. So I know a lot of our viewers have seen this before, but we have some new people. You may be seeing one of our videos for the very first time. So this right here is what he was talking about. That's an IBC tote is what they call it.
It's roughly 250 gallons. We keep our tilapia fish in here. They do their thing. When they use the bathroom, it goes into this filter tank. This breaks down. I've got filter pads down inside here. I just keep that on there to keep the sunlight out. It's got filter pads down in here that the microbacteria in there break all that down. It flows out of here and into each one of the beds down there.
You can see this system of PVC pipes. All of these beds have rocks in them and no dirt at all. So it's just water flowing through.
Once it goes to that end, it flows all the way through the bed. The plants pull up what they need. What they don't use, it goes back down into the header system, drains back down. Over here, this right here is our sump tank. Got one pump running the whole system, pumps water out of that sump tank.
Back into there.
Back up here. Oxygenates the water for the fish. I've also got an air pump in here, giving them more air in their water. Let's give you a little treat and let's feed the fish.
So essentially this greenhouse is to provide greens and things we cannot grow outside all year, as well as fish, a source of protein. So that's what we built this with in mind, but we have so many projects. We have not utilized this to its full potential, but we are going to try to start utilizing all the greens and things that we grow in here. And if we can't use them all, we're thinking about setting up a small fruit and vegetable stand every once in a while for local people that want some greens. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to put you guys down and let you watch, and we are going to try to transform this greenhouse in a matter of a few minutes. So let's get busy.
Alright, so this is mere lettuce. This is one of my favorite lettuces to grow in here. I'm going to harvest a lot of these seeds. Actually going to turn around and replant a lot of them too.
Katie! Hey, Katie! Hey, sweetie! Hey, sweetie baby. Alright, so while Ben works on the lettuce, I'm going to tackle this chocolate mint. I've already harvested this once this year already, and it's taken back over. You can't even see the bed, so I am going to whack some of this down to, it's just taking over everything else in this bed, and it needs to be cut back.
That kale's been in there a long time.
So it has traveled halfway down the bed. It is literally taking over. I've at least made it to where you can see the bed, but I'm going to trim some more down there and jerk a bunch of it out. Alright, that is what is left of the mint. That will come back. You almost cannot kill mint, so it should be fine. I'm about to attack this tomato plant. Alright, so we can actually see the bed again. It's looking better already. I'm actually going to get this grow bag of carrots out of here as well. Like I said, I would not grow carrots that way again. We had grown them down in here in perlite. You can see it. But just when you pull them up, you can see they're just covered in it. It worked okay, I guess. It's just, that stuff is hard to get off. In the meantime, Ben has got this whole bed cleaned out. He's got those lettuces laying there so he can sprinkle them. We kept what's in the trash bag for a later time. He's just kind of raking it with his hands and then leveling it back out. He is much more of a perfectionist than me. Mine I called good just getting it out of there. But so he's about to reseed this bed. We have 4 of these beds. We have 2 of them almost cleaned up at this point. The one on the far side will just take a minute. It's not in terrible shape. And then this one is next. So like Ben told you guys, this is Muir lettuce, spelled M-U-I-R. We actually have had a hard time getting this seed. It was recommended to us as a greenhouse lettuce because it doesn't bolt as easy and it doesn't get bitter. If you've ever had lettuce that's been growing in a little bit of a hotter environment, it tends to have that bittery, milky taste to it, and it's just nasty. But this does not do that. The heads can get huge and it's still tender and fresh tasting and delicious. Okay, new plan. We're actually taking the mint down to 1 sprig. Ben actually took it all out, didn't you?
I thought I had every bit of it out of here because I was getting rid of it.
It's been a while.
It was early spring.
Yeah, this spring. And then
it still came back. One little root in here ended up coming back.
So I'm gonna leave some because I want some, but I don't want all this. It's taking over our bed. Oh wow.
Look at that root one.
And that will clog our bed up.
Yep.
So we really need to get that out of here. But you can see these little roots and sprigs that are left. They will sprout right back in this water and it'll be right back to growing. There is a little something in there. Don't let it sting you.
Oh, he don't need to be in here. Come on.
He's like, I'm trying to recover. I just about drowned.
Ugly woolly booger.
Woolly booger.
Woolly booger. Next is this bed. It hasn't bolted yet, but as you can see, it is right on the verge. We're starting all the way over.
What he meant to say is it has bolted, but it hadn't gone to seed yet. But it's very bitter. We're done with it, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So another bed cleaned up. We're about to reseed this. We'll show you what we're going to plant in here. We planted that whole other bed in lettuce. I was actually going to plant these two, the Red Wing mix and the Rocky Top mix. But I think I'm actually going to wait a couple weeks and let that Muir come up because we don't need all this lettuce to be ready at the same time. That's part of our problem in here is we just come in and just plant everything. And we need a succession plant. So we're gonna wait on these, but I am gonna plant some other stuff in this bed.
We're gonna plant this on this first little part.
I can sprinkle some lettuce in here at a later time, or I can actually put some over here in this bed where the lemon tree is and where I cleaned up all the mint. So, but I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give that time that we've planted to come up, eat on that, and then in a couple weeks, week or two, whatever, get some more going. So that is it for today in here. We got this bed cleaned up and replanted. This bed as well. This is some marjoram and I wound up trimming it up. It's nice looking now. It's trimmed back. Ben is crawling around pulling up spinach. This bed is much cleaner. I'm gonna leave the carrots for now, I decided, because they may actually make something. And then I'm pretty excited about this lemon tree. And then this spinach, we're gonna encourage, before we quit for the night, we're gonna encourage it up that trellis. And just to be honest, we're tired and we decided that bed is pretty good. If you don't know how hard Ben has worked, he is soaking wet, dripping sweat. It is humid. So that is it. Sorry, I know those videos when we're in the greenhouse are kind of noisy with all the fans.
We didn't show it, but this greenhouse is actually 2 layers of plastic, and it's got a fan that blows in between the layers that keeps it blowed up kind of like a balloon. Also acts as another insulation barrier, yes. Especially during the winter. It'll hold some heat in between those layers. That's how this greenhouse stays tight.
But it's noisy and we can't unplug that or it would lose its inflation, and that would just be bad, wouldn't it?
Yep.
So I'm sorry, these videos are kind of noisy, but we came out here and now we got road noise. So there you go. But thanks for coming along with us. We got the greenhouse whipped into shape. I feel a lot better about that. Do you?
Oh yeah, it looks 10 times, 100 times better.
Yes. We've had that on our list for several weeks now, and so we get to go cross that off. So thanks for hanging out with us. We will see you guys on the next one.
Thanks for watching. God bless.